Hello, and welcome to the TV&T podcast. I'm Adriana.
And I'm Selena.
And we are two sisters that have decided to let the internet into the conversations that we have about TV and pop culture over endless cups of tea. In our house, the reoccurring questions are, is it tea time? To which the answer is always yes.
And what are we watching? So pour yourself a cup and get ready to get into it.
Hey guys!
What's up, everyone?
Welcome back!
Another episode, another day, another dollar. We back.
Another week in the quarantine. We're starting to get let out. The let out is happening.
I don't know, but actually, I'm not participating in phase 1.
I'm not. I want to participate in phase 5 if another million people haven't died.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not ready. I'm really not. I think I've settled into quarantine now, and I'm just I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm straight at the crib.
I've settled into quarantine as well. I no longer want to get my nails done. I still have the urge to get my lashes done. We'll see. I wanna participate in phase 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds more reasonable. I'm being dramatic, but phase 3 might work.
I don't know how many phases there are, but
it will be interesting to see what happens. I wonder if and when we'll see the results of phase 1.
You know what? I actually think we already are, because this isn't a news thing by any means, but I saw on Twitter that since yesterday, Florida has reported 1,200 more cases, and I don't know if that's normal, if it's gone down, or if it's gone up. I just know that that's the number. So you guys can interpret that as you may.
That seems like a lot.
Right? I don't know.
That seems like a lot.
It's not one of us.
Anyways, how are you feeling this week? What's your mood? Catch me up. How are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, it's actually so funny you asked me how I felt, because my quote for this week is so funny.
Okay.
It came to me.
Okay.
I'm feeling Giovanni. Oh my gosh.
I'm dead.
Iconic Countess Luann. What was she saying? We don't know. But she looked cute while she said it, and it was fun and fresh. So that is my quote from this week. God. Feeling Giovanni.
Sis, you've lost it.
Isn't that the funniest quote? That's how I'm feeling.
I'm crying. That's hilarious. So you are just...
I'm just here, I'm actually feeling really good. This week, I had a really good week.
Oh my God, I'm literally crying, guys. Literally, tears are flowing.
I've been watching my shows. I've been watching my YouTube videos. I've recently gotten into interior design, and
my Instagram is serving me ads because we had a conversation about that.
So yeah, I'm feeling Giovanni.
Wow, that's a new one. That's not what I expected at all.
I told you it was funny.
That is hilarious. Oh my God. Okay. Well, mine is from the movie Enchanted with Amy Adams and McDreamy. Patrick Dempsey.
Love her.
And it's right after she gets to New York and things are going wrong. She's dirty. She's in the street. She's been run over. She's been robbed.
Oh yeah.
And she's just what sort of awful place is this? And he goes, it's reality.
Yikes, that's a departure from feeling Giovanni.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end.
Yeah.
Because I just feel I don't know how I feel about the reopening. I'm very hesitant. I'm hoping my boss doesn't call me for at least another 2 weeks to come back to work. I'm just not here for anything that's out there. I'm chilling in the house. I'm not bored in the house. I'm chilling in the house and I'm enjoying it.
I know we were all mad about quarantine, but I feel this is maybe the life that I want to live. I just want to live in France and drink wine in the afternoon. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
I want someone else to cook my meals. I want to not have any like annoying ass kids to bother me, and I want to drink all day.
Right?
I just want to like drink and eat and like be fabulous.
I'm ready for a la piscine.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. Give it to me.
But let us get into the TV for this week. We actually had a rough TV week.
We really did. We were all over the place. I just kept jumping from show to show, and I was a mess.
But at least you took advantage of Watchathon, because I didn't watch anything on Watchathon week.
Okay. I messed up. So, as I said, Watchathon, I watched a couple things, and I started The Godfather of Harlem. And it is such a great cast. It's starring Forrest Whitaker. And he plays, it's set in the 1960s in Harlem. He plays a big drug lord, drug boss. And he's fresh out of jail, off of like a 10-year stint in jail. And he comes back to take over his territory, like, you know, reclaim his neighborhood.
The boss is back.
The boss is back, and he ain't playing any games with the Italians that have stepped on his territory. And he starts a war, and it's so great. Malcolm X is a prominent figure in the story, and, you know, they're dealing with race relations and police brutality, and, you know, I don't want to say infestation, but the effects of the drugs in neighborhoods, like wreaking havoc on the Black families. And, you know, it's being sold to them by, you know, the people in the neighborhood. So, you know, you're seeing the effects of that on, you know, children and families and certain individuals. And it's just such a great show. I got like halfway through it, and then I forgot to finish it on Sunday. So I can't finish the last half of it.
And it's like nowhere. We looked for it.
It's like nowhere. I can't find it nowhere. So I'm going to find it like on a Bandulu website and just like stream it somehow. But it's so good. Like, I love it. I love a drug show. Like, I love things about like the mob. Like, I love like the Italian mob. And so it's just, it's hitting all the points. I'm really loving it. The cast is really great. The acting is great. And I'm obsessed with it. So that's what I watched for like a day.
I mean, it sounds really good. It looked really good. My one thing with the show, and probably why I won't watch it, is because I don't want to see anybody else like get sexually assaulted. And like that happens in the show. And
yes.
I was like, because I just
walked in on that one part.
Yeah.
That's like a very small part. It was just like one episode.
But still, like, I just finished Outlander with my family. The season wrapped up. And in the last episode, the main character gets assaulted. And I'm just like, I don't want to see this woman beaten and battered anymore.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It is rough.
I don't want to,
I really hope, like, I don't know if they will, but, like, I just want Hollywood to, like, get a little bit more like glamorized again. Like, right. I don't like the harsh reality of life. Like, we're living it. Why do we have to see it?
Yeah, I don't want to see another assault scene and why do we watch that?
Like, why must we endure it?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I feel like there was a time where they started to put them in movies and in TV shows because they were like, this is a real depiction, but it's like, who cares? Like, it's a movie. Like,
it's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a show.
Like, can we please?
Like, can we relax? Like, I don't know. I don't like it at all.
Not with it. But
I'm very sensitive to that. So I don't like it.
But since we had a rough TV week, we figured that we should just recap or maybe go back to some of the shows we've talked about before. Like the Too Hot to Handle reunion just came out. Mm-hmm. We want to mention that. When the Streetlights Go Out, we both finished that on Quibi. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it.
Okay. Too Hot to Handle reunion. Let's start it off.
Why was the reunion better than the show?
You thought it was better than the show?
Somehow.
How?
I don't know. I just liked it a lot more than probably everything that went on.
Oh my God, I thought it was such a waste of time. I was literally in bed last night watching it, and I was like, why am I watching this?
That's exactly what I needed from them. I just needed an update. Harry and Francesca are getting engaged. Chloe is looking cute.
She really like did herself up. Like I like the hair color change. She looks great. I feel like she got lip filler.
I feel like that too, because she has like those wrinkles in the top of her lip. Let us know if you guys saw it too. But I
just thought it was pointless. Like they played, okay, first of all, they played games on a reunion because they had nothing to talk about, because most of the cast were basically bump on a locks.
You're not wrong.
You know, like I just felt like, why are we playing a game? You know, like what's going on here? Why are we doing this? And it's because they had nothing to talk about. Like nobody went on a personal journey or a romantic journey on the show except for Harry and Francesca and Sharon and Rhonda.
That's what I liked about the
show. And I just feel like they didn't really press Sharon and Rhonda. It was like, obviously they haven't spoken. We know that. Since the show wrapped, and they're not dating, and he came on, he was like super nice, and I feel like he was just trying to save face, which is fine. I have no problems with that. But then Rhonda was just so emotional. She like cried. Broke down crying, and I was just like, sis, why?
I want to know what's going on with them, but I will say that wasn't the host to do it. Like if they had gotten the host from Married at First Sight, they would have pressed them on the issue. But homegirl, like she was cute doing the voiceovers in the show, but it did not translate to her hosting a reunion.
I know, she was so extra. I was like, sis, turn it down. Like these people, one, are not that funny, and two, like this is just not it.
But I liked getting the catch up on the two couples. I didn't need all of the other people, and I didn't need the games, but overall, it was like a fun watch.
Excuse me. I thought it was interesting to see Bryce in his boat.
Yes.
It seemed like the one thing that, who said it in the show? Somebody said it. They're like, I don't know if Bryce is rich or poor because he lives in a boat. And I thought the same thing.
I literally thought the same thing. And we got our answer with the reunion.
It's rich.
Rich.
It is rich. It looked rich. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't look like mega yacht super rich, but it looked rich enough.
Those were my literal thoughts. Rich enough. You know what? I could see why you want to bring girls back to the boat. It's not a dingy boat. Like,
it's not nice. A dinghy. And it was just, it's an interesting choice for sure. Because I just feel like, you know, it's an interesting choice to say I'm going to live in a boat. But I feel like I feel like he brings his boat like to his parents' dock and it's like a $10 million home.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's one of those.
Like he has some of his own money, but it's more expensive than an apartment, cheaper than a house.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
That's how I felt. I was like, good for you. You were lame, but good for you.
We love that for him. I actually liked Bryce.
I know, he wasn't so bad. Like, on the show, he wasn't so bad, but he was, like, more loserish than he appeared to be when he came on. Like, he definitely thought he was way more cooler than he is.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever.
And can we also talk about most of the people, like, most of the cast members didn't even get a full interview. They had nothing to say.
Nothing to say because they were...
edited them out.
Oh my God, like, because nobody did anything. Like, nobody carried any weight. Nobody brought anything to the show. Not even personality. Like, it was... They didn't even talk to David.
I know. I wanted to hear from David.
They didn't even talk to him. And it's like... But they played games. There was like 3 games played.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of that part. But other than that, I liked it. We all know I liked Too Hot to Handle.
I did not.
I think it's just like a brainless, like a thoughtless watch.
I don't know. If you like that, you have to start Love Island. Honestly, I don't know how you've gone this long without watching any of the seasons. If you like
so
that...
much.
No, but Selena, it's so good though. Like they've got the chat.
They've got the bant.
They've got the banter.
How Chloe explained banter was so cute.
She didn't really explain it.
She didn't, but she's just so cute and funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect much from her.
She's an airhead, but it's like in a cute way.
Right?
Yeah. It's not like you don't hate her for it. You almost think it's endearing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
She's very like, oh my gosh, yeah, you just taught me a new word. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's cute.
It is cute.
You know?
It is. So yeah, that was Too Hot to Handle. Another thing we tried to watch on, what day was that? Saturday?
Yeah.
We tried to watch McMillions, which is a documentary. It's on HBO, and it is about the Monopoly game that was played through McDonald's like in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
And there was a huge scam basically run through that. It was basically like a Ponzi scheme. You kind of like somebody at the marketing company that was running the game for McDonald's was doctoring the winners. Like basically people that he knew were all the winners. And I guess we didn't get so much into it because I just thought it was so boring. Like we were both sitting there and I was like,
I think we need a new segment called Shows That Flopped. Because this show was just not it for me. I was on my phone the entire time. One of the investigators was just such a clown.
I know. He was like, oh my God. He just wanted to go undercover and he thought this was a movie. And I was just like, sir, you're in the FBI. Like, cops do nothing to me. Like, the FBI does nothing. I'm just like, what is your job?
In one of the parts of the show, they talk about how they took a whole day to name the mission. Like, they just sat at a round table and were like, oh, what do you think of this name for the operation? What do you think of this name? It's like, sir, is your job real or not?
Right.
Like, don't you have something to investigate? Don't you have some kind of plan to make? Don't you have to do some paperwork? Like, I'm very confused.
Very confused. It was so lackluster to me. And people said it was good. I heard other reviews that people were like, oh, it was good. It was a little long, but it was good. I could not. I was like, we cannot even get to episode 2. Like, I can't.
That needed a movie, not a show.
It needed to be an hour and a half documentary.
Yeah.
They needed to just get through it. Like, they needed to get to the point. One thing I can say, and like, I felt like this a little bit with Tiger King. Like, Tiger King was great. We know that.
Yeah.
But did it have to be 7 episodes? Probably not.
Tiger King needed to be 7 episodes. I liked every single episode of that show.
I mean, I think we could have, like, maybe cut down on, like, an episode and a half. Like,
which one? Not the one where they explain Carol Baskin's entire thing. Not the one where he runs for president. Name an episode they could have gotten rid of. Not the one where they talk about Doc Antle's cult. That's already 3.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I just think, like, since the 30 for 30 about OJ and like his entire life and like the entire scandal and the investigation and the trial and everything, I feel like all documentaries now are like multi-part and nobody just wants to make a movie or doesn't want to just make a traditional 1 hour, 2 hour documentary anymore. Everybody wants it to be like 7 hours, and I'm just like, that's not always necessary.
I would have to agree. I definitely think McMillions is one of those cases. However,
maybe not Tiger King.
Maybe not Tiger King. Yeah, I do like the trend.
I don't think I do, because I love a documentary, like, but I want it to be like watchable. If I have to sit for hours and hours, I'm just like, oh my God, this is like so much time.
Depends on the topic.
A bitch got shit to do today.
Depends on the topic.
Yeah, so that was McMillions. So how did you go to switch to Quibi real quick? How did you like when the streetlights go on?
I didn't like it.
What?
It was unfulfilling. It did. I mean, I have to be honest with you. I didn't like it. Like, it was cute. I liked the storyline and the concept, but like how it was executed, I didn't like it. I don't know how I feel about these Quibi shows. I think I would have much preferred that as a movie. They could have done way more character development. Like, I feel like we loved the girl, and then all of a sudden she was dead. And then all of a sudden they found the guy. And then all of a sudden the kid is like, I'm changed forever. I'm an adult now and I left my small town, but I'm changed forever. It's like, but like it didn't hit.
I totally agree. I didn't like that we didn't get to find out how they caught him. The fact that it was the neighbor, I was like, oh,
I had a feeling it would be someone random. They kind of foreshadowed that in the middle of it.
And it makes sense as to how he got into the car at the beginning and killed the first sister and the teacher.
Yeah, because he lived right next door.
Yeah. I was like, whoa. I don't know. I like that show. But I do understand what you're saying. It's so fast. Like, it's very quick. And I think, as I said before, I like that it was fast. Like, I like that we got in and got out. I didn't have to get into, like, the hysterics of, like, the teenage drama and, like, all of that.
But isn't that the point of a teenage drama? If you want, like, a quick little thing, read a short story. You know how many short stories are literally exactly that? Small town, murder, how it affects a young boy's life coming of age.
But now we're watching it.
It didn't hit for me.
I just feel like a book is a book and
Not
a show
book.
is a show.
A short story.
But a short, like...
Not a book, like a short story, because that wouldn't be a book. A book does all of that work that a movie or a long form show does. The character development, the intrigue, like. But
there's no. People are not making content like that visually. A short story. Okay. This is a short story.
I guess I could see what you mean, but here's my quick critique with all of the Quibi shows. You need to have the climax more around the middle. You can't have the climax in like the last 7-minute episode, because I just feel unfulfilled. They did so much build up for 6-7 minute episodes, and then the end was just like ping pong boom, done.
Yeah.
They needed to spread it out better.
I guess. Is this why we haven't gone back to the Most Dangerous Game?
Probably.
I watched like another episode and I was just like, ugh, I don't know, I'm not loving it.
When Quibi gets it right, it'll be great.
You know what I think they're doing right? The documentary type stuff. I watched a couple other shows. I watched Skrrt by Offset.
Did you really?
I did.
That's so funny.
And I wasn't gonna watch it, but I just wanted something fun to watch, and I was like, let me check out my boy. And so I watched that, and every episode is about like different cars. Like he meets up with like a different celebrity, and they're like doing different things with like specialty cars. He goes with Quavo to like check out this like tank truck thing.
Oh.
And they're like shooting up the tank, and you know, they're driving around in it, they're checking out the interior, you know, the whole deal. And then he goes to Jay Leno's like collection, and he drives all these vintage cars with him, and you know, he got to learn about like how he started his collection, and like just little tidbits about the different cars that Leno had, and like that was really cool. And then another episode, he went with Cardi to like an event with like small kids that have cancer with the American Cancer Society.
That's so cute.
And that was so cute. And then they gave them like all these little cars. It was like little like mini Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Bentleys. It was so cute.
I love the
and
baby
little
cars.
culture was there, and they did like these little races with the cars and the kids and the parents. And then what was another episode? Oh, he went stunt driving with Little Yachty.
Okay.
And you know, he did like different things like that, and it was like, okay, I'm not really into cars at all, but I just his personality was fun and it was fresh.
I was just about to ask that. Does he have like good personality?
Yes, he's very funny. Like they were on like this like track, and they were like speed driving with like he was like learning how to drift with T-Pain, and like they're both in the car, and they're like and they're like going crazy. And I don't know, I just thought his personality was fun and it was cute. Like I think those shows, they're doing really well.
Yeah, for sure. It makes sense that they would.
Yeah, I think that is where they're hitting it out of the ball. I don't know. I do agree that the character development on these like dramas and stuff, it's like it's too quick. It is too quick, but I kind of like that because I don't have to get fully invested, especially in something that's like a dark topic, like, you know.
There's a reason why I hated Homegirl in Survive. There's a reason why I'm not attached to Mr. Hemsworth in The Most Dangerous Game. And I feel like that's what keeps me to a show. Like, if I don't watch that show, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I also watched Chrissy's Court with Chrissy Teigen.
Oh.
Oh my God. Awful.
Shows that flopped.
Yeah, she is... Okay, so she's a judge, and her mom's the bailiff, and she's hearing... Yeah. What's her mom's name? Whatever her mom's name is. Her mom's the bailiff, and they're hearing cases, and they're deciding on it, and they're, like, legally binding. But the cases are just so, like, corny and, like...
Caso Cerrado?
It's just too much. And then she's trying to be funny, and then she brings John on, and Luna's in the back saying, "Good job, mommy." And it's just like, I love Chrissy, but no, I'm like not feeling that show. I watched 3 episodes and I was like, oof, this is rough.
I like Caso Cerrado, so I don't know.
I'm not into stuff like that.
You don't like Judge Judy?
No.
I feel like sometimes it can be fun. I watched the clips on YouTube, so maybe that's what they were trying to emulate with Chrissy. But I don't think she was the right person for that.
They are, for sure, and I'm just like, no.
I don't get it. She should have had a cooking show. The fuck?
That's what I would have thought, but it's like, I don't know. That was just a very weird. It's very weird. I could have seen, it would have made more sense if they had given that show to Kim Kardashian, because at least she's studying to be a lawyer.
Yeah, that would make way more sense.
I don't understand why, like, what moral compass does Chrissy have? Like, that we are attached to. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, I don't know.
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't.
Hey guys, when things don't fit for your brand, say no.
Yeah, like this makes 0 sense to me. It's very weird.
Whatever, get your coins, hunty.
Yeah. I was happy for Offset. Watching Offset show, I was like, yes, boy, make that money. Get your check.
Yeah.
So that's what I watched on Quibi. Another thing I'm watching, I'm trying to finish How to Get Away with Murder. Do you watch that?
I watched the first 2 seasons and I haven't gone back to it.
Oh. I have like 4 episodes left and I'm just like not interested. I'm bored.
It happens.
I don't, Shonda's shows get like so dramatic after a while that I just get sick of them, and I'm just there. I'm just like, I know I'm at the end, so I want to like finish it, but I'm like, it's a struggle.
Take a break. Come back to it.
I was taking a break, and then I took like, I was going back and forth trying to finish an episode yesterday for like 4 hours. I was like starting and stopping, and that's a sure sign that like you're not into it.
No, I tried to watch a show on Netflix a few months ago called Dark. I watched season 1 and it left me so creeped out, and I liked it. And then season 2, I literally tried to watch episode 1 5 different times because I fell asleep each time.
Oh no.
That's a sign. Just don't watch it.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
Okay. What else have you been watching this week?
Oh, I finished Say Yes to the Dress UK with Gawk. Love him. I'm always gonna love Say Yes to the Dress. Do not give me the side eye. I've also been continuing to watch Nazrana Diaries on YouTube, and I just think those keep me way more entertained than a lot of other things.
I have to say, the couple episodes of Gawk that I saw, I think he is incredible.
He's great.
He has a gift. Mm-hmm. He really does. He finds the perfect dress for every person. He gets into their psyche. He builds them up. He makes them feel beautiful. The one thing about that show I can take, though, is that it's like an emotional aspect. Like, the people are crying. It's a sob story. The music is sad. I'm just like, gosh, it's a happy time. You're getting married. You're finding a dress. Like, bitch, perk up.
Yeah, I can definitely see what you mean. And I noticed after you mentioned it to me, all of the brides in that season have like sob stories. I don't know if the producers wanted that. They wanted brides with stories. I think so, but like, I was like, whoa, like, you should be happy. What's going on? But he just does great styling, so I love it. And I feel like the brides in the UK have a better sense of style.
They do.
The dresses,
or maybe like a better selection. I don't know. There's something going on over there. All the dresses are great.
And they're cheaper.
They are cheaper. I wonder why.
Right? I feel like to get a dress like that in the US, you gotta have like a $7,000 budget.
They're only spending like $2-3 grand.
Yeah, so let us know what's going on if y'all know.
Okay, so what else?
Let's talk tea.
You want to talk tea? I'm down.
I finished my tea before we even started this episode, but the tea is piping hot tonight, you guys.
It is. There's a lot going on today.
Oh my gosh. First off, let's start light. Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, new song, Rain on Me.
Love it. We just listened to it. It is a summer anthem. It is Memorial Day weekend, and I'm in a vibe. Like, tomorrow, we're putting that on.
Yeah.
We're blasting the music. I want a hot dog. I want a beer. And I want to get dressed, and I just want to, like, dance around to that all day. Like, I'm here for it.
I'm having a tequila and putting that song on because it was just so cute. It's such a bop. It's perfect for summer. I feel like it's a good mix between, like, techno club, like,
it feels very gay bar.
Yes.
Very gay bar. Very, like gay brunch or like a drag brunch moment. I love it. But it's also very like old school Gaga. I
was about to say
it's pop Gaga to the max. I love it. It's it.
I love a classic pop anthem with like a two
heavyweights.
A dynamic duo.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I loved it. Can't wait. I can't wait for her album to drop. Like, I need that Gaga energy. Like, I'm like, yes, queen.
I need someone to drop an album because I can only listen to Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce remix of Savage, like, so much.
True. Yeah.
In other news, Mary-Kate Olsen is getting a divorce, and she ran off to the Hamptons. In my mind, to me, that just meant like, oh, she ran off to the Hamptons to be with like a new man, and that's my conspiracy. Yeah, that because who goes to the Hamptons alone?
What if she wants to get away?
Alone?
But like, she's been in quarantine with her husband, who she has now filed for an emergency divorce proceeding, and why wouldn't you go to the Hamptons? Like, if she probably has a house out there, so she's like, I'm trying to get away. Like, look at us. It's
a rental, honey. It's a $325,000 Hamptons rental.
She's
house.
Mary-Kate Olsen. Like, of course she's like.
As reported by Page 6.
It's not her house. She's renting it because she can afford it. I would get out of the city too. I'm down. I'm here for her. Like, bye.
You think she's going on an eat, pray, love journey there in the Hamptons?
Maybe it's just like, I need to get the fuck away from you journey.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, imagine your relationship falling apart pre-quarantine, because I'm sure it was.
For sure.
And then all of a sudden quarantine hits and you're stuck in the house with him for 2.5 months. We're at like 8 weeks, 9 weeks. You're stuck in your New York apartment. She's rich, so like maybe it's 5,000 square feet if she's lucky, but like it's probably not. So
yeah, the quarantine breakups are happening. The quarantine breakups are happening this week. Like,
for sure.
They broke up. Cara Delevingne and Ashley Benson broke up recently.
Yeah, they did.
Who else broke up? Megan Fox and her man.
Brian.
And now she's dating MGK. It's just tea.
It's breakup season.
I'm here for it.
It's summer. Summer's the official start of summer is next week, so it's like, you know,
hot girl summer, so you know we getting lit. In other news, call her daddy.
Okay, this is podcasting. The podcasting world is lit this week.
We're quaking, you guys. I am a loyal member of the Daddy Gang. I listened to them every Wednesday for a year and a half. Like, I found them when they were just getting into it. They were like 6 months in, and I love them. They actually inspired my other podcast, Tipsy 20s, with my best friend, and I just miss them. Like, they haven't recorded an episode in a month and a half, and all of this drama is really getting to me. I don't know what to believe.
Okay, so from what I understand, did they go on a planned hiatus or did they just stop recording?
They just stopped.
Okay. And I don't know the girl's name. I don't know their names.
Alex and Sophia.
Okay. It's Sophia's boyfriend that went out and, like, got them another deal. That's more lucrative than what Barstool is
than what
offering
Barstool originally offered them. But because Barstool renegotiated with Alex, that deal is better than all of the other deals that they were getting. So now Sophia's mad because Alex went behind her back and did like the best deal with Barstool. And honestly, that deal is pretty much unheard of if you're a content creator with a big machine behind you.
So, okay, so I have a couple thoughts about this.
Okay.
So they're under an umbrella company. Mm-hmm. So they're technically considered employees. So they're on a salary. They were offered $500,000 for a year, and then they were going to be able to walk away with the show.
They had a 3-year contract, $500,000 per year, and then they were able to walk away.
Okay.
They renegotiated their deal. It was going to be $1 million, and they shortened their contract. They still said no. And then Alex negotiated so she would have ownership of the name, 75%. And Sophia wanted 50% of them owning intellectual property and everything. And Alex doesn't want to give up the 75% now.
Well, Alex was also being paid more this entire time.
Yes.
Which I think that's the main problem. If you're in a partnership and you're making money, why aren't you you're equally carrying the weight. You're equally building the show. You should be making the same amount of money. I think that right there always said to me that Alex did not have Sophia in mind.
Definitely. So a couple months in, the show was doing really good, and Alex asked their boss for a raise, and he gladly gave it to them because the show was doing...
Not to them, to her.
Because the show was doing so well. And she definitely should have gone to Sophia like, hey, let's both ask for a raise, not just her ask for a raise. But
I think that is shiesty.
Alex definitely fucked Sophia over, but at the same time, Sophia should have taken the amazing deal Barstool gave them. Barstool said $1 million, shorten your contract, and you guys are on even footing again. And when Alex went behind her back and started negotiating for IP rights, that was definitely...
I just don't understand why they're not on the same page. Like, why is Alex renegotiating behind her back?
Because Sophia was not going to take the deal. Sophia's boyfriend went out on a limb for them to get this deal with them with the other company. So I guess because he's kind of on the line, she's like, oh, I can't take this deal. Like, I'm already in too deep with him. By the way, HBO executive... Honey is paid, but like she basically just ruined her career.
But honestly, I don't think so, because I think Barstool is shortchanging them. They're losing every single episode like $500,000 from them not recording. So in the 5 weeks that they haven't recorded, it's like, how much is that? Like $3 million that they've lost, that Barstool has lost. And you're telling me that they are not worth more than $1.5 million a year?
Here's the thing, though. When they originally did their contract, their podcast was like not even on the map. Barstool definitely.
Yeah, but now they are on the map. They're number 2.
Yeah.
Call Her Daddy is like one of probably in the top 5 most downloaded podcasts out there. Period.
Actually, since the whole drama started, they're number 1.
Exactly. So I'm saying, this is my thing. Like, if you're in a partnership, you have to be on the same page from beginning to end. I don't think that if her boyfriend is a HBO executive, he knows the numbers and the money that they are worth and they could be getting. They're shortchanging these girls, and they both like shot each other in the foot, like by going behind each other's back to do deals. Mostly Alex, because she keeps going behind Sophia's back for more stuff without cluing her girl in. Like, no, we need to go and do this. We need to negotiate for that.
But at the same time, when Barstool offered them the deal and Sophia was like, no, Alex, I don't want to take it. Let's keep negotiating. Alex, I guess she saw that it was a battle they weren't going to win, and she just tried to jump ship and take care of herself at that point. Not okay, but like I see, especially because Sophia just seems completely like in like blindly. She's blindly following this guy.
But I don't think like taking a meeting and negotiating a deal to say like, this is what we're worth, this is what we could be getting somewhere else, is a bad thing. She's
of
putting an
course
option
not.
on the table, and her partner is not doing the same because she's not putting her options on the table for them either. She's negotiating for herself only throughout this whole thing.
But at the same time, Sophia is still in the wrong because one of the deals was that they were going to shorten the contract. After that, they could have gone to whoever they wanted for even more money. Because after all of this drama, it shot them to the top. They're selling so much merch right now because everyone thinks the podcast is just about to end. And you know what? It just might. And I really don't see the podcast going on with just Alex. It's going to go on, but it's not going to be
The same. It's just crazy that these girls have Alex has really sold her partner out for pennies on the dollar, when in the same week Spotify bought the rights to Joe Rogan's podcast for $100 million.
Sick.
He's the #1 podcast. He's been doing this for 11 years. Totally worth it. They're going to recoup that money easy. But their original offer was $500,000 a year, and their podcast makes that every episode. Like, I don't blame the boyfriend for trying to be like, look, like, you guys could go somewhere else and make way more money because you've built your name. At this point, they are household names in the podcasting realm. Even if they had to change their name, rebrand, whatever, they have the audience behind them that they've built up. Like, they're not gonna just lose that because they leave Barstool.
It's so unfortunate. The whole thing is just so unfortunate. Everyone's talking about it.
Alex is shiesty. I don't know how Sophia feels, but you do not want to be in business with someone like that. You don't.
Sophia made a video and she was almost about to cry. The New York Post is talking about it. Cosmo's talking about it. Literally everyone. So
shiesty. That's all I gotta say.
Shiesty. People are saying Lana is shiesty.
Lana Del Rey. Okay.
This is the big tea story.
Yes, this happened this morning. Lana Del Rey released what was that on her Instagram? She put out a statement.
I think it was on Twitter. I actually have it here.
To the lead up for her new music that will be dropping later this year, she says.
September 5th, new album.
And she is talking about the fact that other female artists have been able to make #1 songs about being sexy, wearing no clothes, fucking, cheating, etc. And she says, can I please go back to singing about being embodied, feeling beautiful, being in love, even if our relationship is not perfect, or dancing for money, or whatever I want, without being crucified or saying that I'm glamorizing abuse. So.
I'm a Lana stan.
You are. This is your girl. When I saw this, I was like, ooh, Cece's girl is acting up.
Yeah. I don't defend her blindly.
Okay.
I definitely think she shouldn't have named artists. She named Doja Cat, Ariana Grande, Camila Cabello, Cardi B, Kehlani, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce. You cannot name Beyonce. It doesn't matter what you say.
What your argument is, don't invoke Beyonce's name.
Yeah. I definitely think she shouldn't have named them, but I understand exactly what she's saying because as a fan, I know the criticism that she's gotten.
Okay, so break down the criticism for me because I do not listen to Lana's music and I don't know the criticism. I didn't know there was criticism about her. It's not even on my radar.
Lana came out in the 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010 era of music, definitely less accepting of women than now. If you think about her discography, what's the word?
Discography. I don't know.
My pee tastes like Pepsi Cola.
That's one of her songs or her album? That's
the name of a song.
Okay.
One of the lines is literally Harvey's in the sky room dancing and he's making me crazy. It's talking about assault, and she has definitely made music about her life that's not always pretty, and she does it in like a fun, soft Tumblr 2010 way.
Okay.
So, of course, feminists and the culture at the time jumped on her and were like, okay, no, this is damaging towards women. This is not okay. And Lana has always maintained the narrative of, I'm not trying to promote or glamorize anything. I make music that I think is beautiful about my life. Even if that's like dancing for money, which she does talk about. Like, she was one of the first girls to be like, oh yeah, I have a sugar daddy. Oh yeah, he's like kind of mean to me. I like strip and stuff. So because people really came for her when she first came out, I think that's what she was trying to talk about. Like, now, since women can talk about whatever they want, can I go back to saying whatever I want? Are y'all still gonna talk about it? Because for a while she was seen as that type of artist, very taboo. Like, when I first started listening to her in middle school, keep in mind I went to private school, but it was so scandalous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you get it more now?
Sorta, but I just think you cannot be. She's now been in the music industry for over 10 years.
Yeah.
You can't be a public figure and release a statement and say that people are crucifying you for the content that you put, for the music you make, the art you create, and expect there to be no criticism, no backlash, no sort of like hate. That's one. And two, you really shouldn't be trying to compare yourself with a group of women who have all been pretty well dragged through the media from time to time throughout their career for one reason or another. Maybe it's not in the same way that you have been dragged, but like, let's not forget who, like, the names that she invoked. Like, people love Beyonce, but people really come for her, and a lot of people hate on her. And there have been times throughout her career, after the Lemonade album, after the Super Bowl performance when she did Formation and she was dressed like a Black Panther, that people were really like upset. You know, there has been times where people have been, don't want to hear what Beyonce has to say, and they drag her for it. I don't think Lana Del Rey is exempt from that. I don't think anybody is exempt from that.
Oh,
we criticize Future, we criticize Kanye, we criticize Nicki. I mean, people were dragging Doja Cat last year. I just think, how small-minded of you as an artist to think that you're the only woman that receives criticism for the art that she makes.
A lot of people have that mentality, and that's why they're mad at the statement. But I don't think the statement was about that. I think it was about time. Of course, the things that she put out in 2010 are not going to be received the same way as if she were putting them out now. And I think that's what she meant to say. It should have just been that. She shouldn't have named anyone, for sure. But people are definitely missing what she tried to say, and maybe that's because they don't really know that much about her. You get what I mean? Because we had a heated debate about this earlier.
Yes.
And she was just like, this is white women tears.
This
don't
is
come
white
for my
women.
queen.
No, and I don't think, like, again, I don't think even Beyonce is above criticism. Like, I think when...
But the general cultural consensus about Beyonce isn't like, no. And at one point, the general cultural consensus about Lana was probably just no.
Okay. Maybe I don't know that about her, so I have no reference of that. But to me, it just sounds like you've gone ahead and named a bunch of artists that you think are above criticism when they haven't been. So it's like, what are you actually talking? It's a false equivalency. She's saying, like, these people all make music and they get praised for it. Yes, they do, but they also get dragged. And she somehow feels like she should have the same kind of approval and success with her music just because other people are making music that's culturally acceptable. Like, maybe your music is just not that great. Maybe your fans are just smaller. Like, maybe you are a different kind of artist than the mainstream success that Beyonce and Nicki Minaj and, you know, Ariana Grande have been able to build up. Like, maybe that's just not your lane. And if that's the lane that you're trying to be in, you shouldn't then hate on other women for being in that lane and saying like, they're allowed to do this, so why can't I, in your defense of yourself. I just feel like that's just the wrong foot. Like, no.
I get the message.
No?
Wrong. I mean, I get what she's trying to say. I want to read you guys a little bit more of this statement because people are really picking apart the first part of the statement, but I think the rest of it explains it a little bit better. Third paragraph, she says, with all of the topics women are finally allowed to explore, I just want to say over the last 10 years, I think it's pathetic that my minor lyrical exploration detailing my sometimes submissive or passive roles in my relationships has often made people say I've set women back hundreds of years. She's talking about feminism, and the feminists definitely come for her. She's just a different type of artist, and I wouldn't expect that to be mainstream. I mean, that's my one critique of her. Like, you shouldn't expect all of that music to be super mainstream, but at the same time, I get it. Do you get what she's trying to say there? We'll link the whole statement in our description, and you guys can all read it and see for yourself. But definitely don't come at this from like a.
She does sound like a whiny white woman to me, though. I can't help but feel like, sis, okay. Like, there's someone out there right now that's listening to this podcast that's like, these girls are this, they're that, mm-hmm. And I'm sure if we build this to a place, we're going to catch heat. Like, same thing with Sophia and Alex. Like, mm-hmm. They're catching heat. They're, like... Each of them are getting their fair share of praise and criticism. No one is above criticism. So I just feel like even if the feminists are coming for you, even if you don't feel like you've been able to ascend to a place that you might have hoped of, like, you need to be comfortable in the life that you've built for this yourself. You have to be proud of the work that you're putting out, and you just have to stay on your path. Like, stay in your lane. If that's the music you want to make it proudly. Don't make it and then be mad that people don't like it. It's like, you know, if, let's say, for instance, like, if after Yeezus came out, Kanye said, oh, people didn't really like that. I got a lot of criticism for it, which is true. But his fans liked it. His diehard fans liked it. And there was a particular audience for that. If after that point and the criticism he got, he had to just stop making music mm-hmm. or whined and complained about it, like, everyone would have been like, bro, like, you're not above criticism. Yeah. Like, you're not exempt just because you're famous, or you're not exempt just because you've made a number of albums. Like,
I understand your point. I don't think that was.
You're not special.
Yeah, I don't think that was her point. Regardless, I think she should have let the music speak for itself.
I think so too. And now I just feel like a lot of people are not going to want to even hear the music.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Because I feel like that's what happened with Nicki and her last album. Like, she started talking and it was like so much controversy, and she was coming for
Queen Radio shut it down.
Exactly. And then like Queen came out and like nobody really listened to the album. Like, it didn't do as well as her other albums, and it wasn't because the music was particularly bad or had fallen off. It was just the rhetoric that she had led up to it with didn't allow us to like enjoy the music, because we had a sour taste in our mouth. Like, mm-hmm. Now we all have a sour taste in our mouth for Lana. I'm sure her fans will still support and people will still come out for her, but you know, I just feel like
yeah, none of her fans definitely flipped because of this. That's when you know that you did something real wrong, when your fans start to flip on you, for sure. But yeah. Like, I get it. I'm sure other people get it, and you know,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is all we have for you this week. Another episode of the TV and T podcast.
We hope you enjoyed. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe to us.
Tell us something nice.
Real nice.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at it's TV and T podcast.
Yes.
And you can follow my personal Instagram, XO Adriana Alicia.
My personal Instagram is at Selena Stan, And our Twitter is also TVNT Podcast. It'll all be in the description box.
Of course.
Until then, rate, review, subscribe, leave us something nice.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.